Hi internet people. So for my vlogs, I don't normally do like an intro bit, but I thought because my Winterween vlog starts in my kitchen and the audio is just kind of okay, and because the vlog is a little goofy, that I would do an opener to explain. So I did vlog in some capacity every single day of Winterween. Now that got a little bit tricky during the like work week portion of the vlog. So I vlog a little bit on the Friday. I vlog a teeny tiny bit on the Saturday. I vlog some on Sunday. I vlog pretty decently on Monday. Tuesday I was sick, so I filmed one clip and that is all you get. I then vlogged kind of normally Wednesday and Thursday. So that's just like a heads up. Not every day gets up like a ton of footage. I also could not really go anywhere this week, so I'm really just at my house for all of the days of the vlog. We were going to go book shopping, but there was a huge winter storm followed by a windstorm. So we just didn't leave the house. Like, we were just in our house for most of the entire Winterween schedule because of weather. And I was fine with it. I would rather be cozy in my home than dealing with horrible winter weather. But I don't know, some people like seeing things happening and people going places, but that just didn't happen. So please know this is an entirely like in my house reading vlog. I also wanted to give you the order of the books. So to start, I listened to the audiobook for A Dowry of Blood on the Friday. Then over the weekend, I really just focus on trying to get a decent way into The Shining. Stephen King always takes me a while to get through, and this book, because it is kind of dense at the beginning, took me a while. So most of my weekend bits are me either saying I'm just reading The Shining or that's all I'm going to do. Then Monday, I listened to the audiobook for I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me, and I do vlog that. Then Tuesday and Wednesday are primarily The Shining again, because Tuesday I was sick, so I was just trying to focus on reading The Shining and just kind of resting. So that's really all I do on Tuesday. You get one clip of Tuesday. Then Wednesday I finish The Shining, and I also talk about the movie The Shining because I was able to like play it and give my thoughts on the book in comparison to the movie. And then the final day I listen to the audiobook for Maeve Fly. So that is the book order for the vlog. And I also just thought you should know it's an in my house vlog where I'm not really going anywhere. I'm hanging out with my wife and my dogs and my cats. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I had a lot of fun filming it. I had a lot of fun reading for all the prompts for Winterween. If you completed or even like just took part in slightly Winterween, I hope you had a really fun time, and I hope you enjoy this sort of casual, cozy at home weekly vlog that I filmed. So we're gonna get that rolling for you. Hope you enjoy it. Good morning, witches. It is the first day of Winterween. You may hear the furnace, you may hear Christmas music, and you may hear puppies because I'm downstairs in my kitchen. I am making coffee with my, this is like my go-to mug. It says Vampire Blood. It's from Big Lots. It's $5 and it holds over 20 ounces of coffee, which I like. Why are you focusing? There we go. I don't know why my camera doesn't want to focus on my face today. Okay. Let's start that. You're gonna have to deal with coffee maker sounds. So for Winterween, I actually put on eyeliner. I don't normally wear eyeliner on a regular work day. It's right before work starts, so I'm gonna very quickly show you my outfit. We're just gonna pan down. I'm wearing a very cute cowboy sweatsuit. That was a Catamungus. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a cat bed thing. But yeah, so I'm making coffee, and I picked this specifically because we're in Winterween. It is Joffrey's Dragon Roast Blend, so it's Maleficent themed, and it has notes of pecan, caramel, and vanilla. I think it tastes like banana bread. It must be the pecan, like it just makes my brain think of banana bread, and I don't know why, but it's really good. So I'm having that to start the day, and then I cheated a little, and I actually started Cinderella Necromancer yesterday. I'm gonna finish it today, so I'm counting it as for this reading challenge because this is my witch on the cover. So I did a terrible job explaining this book in my like TBR video. So the story does follow a character whose name is frequently Ella. It's not officially, like her name is not Cinderella. But we're gonna call her Ella. Not everyone calls her Ella, but that is the name she prefers people who care about her to call her. So Ella Ella is, her mother dies when she's 15. I'm hitting a button on my coffee maker. And then on her 16th birthday, her father arrives home with a new person. And he says that he has brought a mother, her brother, Edward, Eddie. He kind of accepts the stepmother, but Ella is like, no, this is not happening. I don't know how you fell in love so quickly. My mother is an irreplaceable person. She was incredible. She was magnificent. You can't replace her with anyone else. Now, Ella does something that she says she regrets, which is she didn't look into the woman's eyes when she first met her. And what she does in fact do is when she does look in her eyes, she sees nothing, which is kind of a hint for you. So the father suddenly leaves on business, but it's odd. He gives Ella a key that is made out of a bone, which is very strange. He also, I have to switch hands, sorry. It also, when the new stepmother is talking to him, he like goes slack a lot and like his face will go dim. Hi Sub. That's Salem. She has many a nickname. One is Sub. But so the father leaves. We have no idea when he's coming back. He probably is not. I feel like he's been bewitched to not come back. My hair is down for right now, but I'm putting it back up, I think, while I'm working. But he is gone. And then, much like the story you probably know of Cinderella, the stepsisters arrive, and they are awful. Cinderella / Ella in this case becomes sort of a worker. They actually like get rid of all the staff except the cook, and only have Ella doing all of the work. And Ella doesn't really know how to do any of it because she's 16 and she's been raised as like a pretty influential person. Affluential is what I meant. So she doesn't know things. So the cook is helping her. Things do occur. Like she's able to gain her strength. She's getting stronger. She can do more tasks. But what's curious is she finds secret passageways in the house and a book. And this book has very curious things in it because it seems to be full of spells to summon demons. I don't want to give too much more away. I've gotten farther than that. I will say, because this is Cinderella retelling, there is a prince, there is a ball. But how Cinderella gets to that ball, Ella in this case, I'm gonna accidentally call her Cinderella, but it does say Cinderella on the front. I'm not gonna tell you how she gets there because it's not the way it is in any story you know. It involves a lot of deals and a lot of spooky things. So I'm really enjoying it. I am over halfway done and I'm gonna finish it definitely sometime today. I do start work very soon, so I won't really be able to read it until my lunch break. But I will also have an audiobook I'm gonna start. So it's gonna be audiobook and then back to Cinderella at lunch. So I'm very excited about today. I'm very excited about this challenge. My hair is going back up. It doesn't want to do what I want it to do. But yes, you also might see me in a costumey thing later because I'm gonna try at lunch if I finish the book to do a photo inspired by the cover. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I need to go. I need to finish getting ready for work. And I will keep you apprised of all of my reads, Winterween folks. Bye for now.
This is Audible.
Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, narrated by Abby Craden. Part 1. I never dreamed it would end like this, my lord. Your blood splashing hot flecks onto my nightgown and pouring in rivulets onto our bedchamber floor. But creatures like us live a long time. There is no horror left in this world that can surprise me. Eventually.
Hello. So it's officially my lunch break. I have already listened to Dowry of Blood. It's already a short book, and I listen to audiobooks on like 2 times speed. I am making myself a bagel, FYI. They're cranberry bagels. Hello, Sub! Salem is like, oh, you're making food? So I'm about to toast this, but I listened to all of Dowry of Blood, which was so good. Okay, I am a sucker for like epistolary / like kind of stories where it's like relaying something that happened. You're going to hear R2D2 beeps because we have an R2D2 toaster. But so the entire story is about Costanza, who is theoretically a bride of Dracula. Now, she does not want to name Dracula because she doesn't want to give him the power of his name. So she's actually taking his name away from him because her human name was taken from her in death. She does not remember her name before him, and he renamed her Costanza. But she does not want to give him a name because she she has killed him. That's the whole premise, is she has killed him, and she's sort of relaying why she did it, what led to the events. So it's sort of like a very long letter to her former husband. And the story follows her birth as a vampire, to the addition into their family of Magdalena and, oh gosh, because I wasn't reading it now, I can't remember his name. I was also reading a character name that was very similar. Anatole? I don't think that's right. Of a young man to the family. So we get to see 3 spouses of Dracula, which would fit with the sort of like brides that we similarly see, oh my gosh, my brain, that we typically see in storytelling. It turns out that he has had other loves. There have been other creations of Dracula. He has had other people in his life. She does find this out. That's not a huge spoiler, but he has those. I don't want to spoil too much, and it's so short that I can't really tell you much, except it's really just like following the life of Costanza with her husband, and the additions that are made to the family, and what ultimately leads to the end of their relationship. I thought it was really, really good. The audiobook is incredible. The narrator was so good. I really, really liked her. I think she's narrated something else I've listened to, so I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend it. I don't know if you'd want to read it or listen to it. I really like listening to it. It gave me like narrative podcasting vibes, which I liked. So I really, really enjoyed it. Because my lunch break just started, I have read literally like a chapter more in Cinderella Necromancer, so I'm gonna update you when I finish that one. Ooh, my bagel's ready. But it was so good. I really enjoyed it. That was my W in the title. Yes, I know this is also a 3, but it kind of looks like a W. But I have finished that one, and I should have Cinderella Necromancer finished by the end of my lunch break. So I will fill you in after I have had my lunch, enjoyed food. I'm so hungry. And then, yeah, we'll move on to the next one. I will probably start The Shining tonight, once I finished everything, because the other 2 books I have are audiobooks that I'm planning on listening to like next week, or maybe starting over the weekend while I'm like doing other things. I listen/watch stuff while I'm cooking dinner. What are you doing, ma'am? I have to go because there's a cat in this window, and Salem has climbed into a window she's not supposed to be in. Salem! Hey! Get down, ma'am! I know you can't see me. You can only see my fridge. You knocked over the cat, ma'am! The offending woman, climbed on top of my coffee machine. Oh, she's gonna go on my back. That's fine. She climbed on top of my coffee machine and climbed out to stare out the window, which she knows she's not allowed to do. So now I have to go put the candle I was using to weigh down the top of, that sounds wild, but I have a candle that I have to sit on top of my coffee maker because the cat that was in that window, Binks, was consistently stealing the lid off of the water reserve. Jeez Louise. They're just doing whatever they want today. But he kept stealing it and trying to give it to the dogs. And you can't use that coffee machine if the reservoir lid is gone. Because it screws up the sensors. So yeah, I have a very cute candle sitting on top of it. Hi. She's trying to be very cute because she knows she's in trouble. But I'm gonna go and eat my bagel and clean up my coffee area that this little man here has messed with. So we're gonna go, and I will fill you in on Cinderella Necromancer later today, possibly after work, depending. Are you gonna jump down? You're gonna jump down. Oh, this is so fun. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye for now, internet people. Hello, we have interesting lighting happening. I'm filming this super quick while I'm waiting for a program to install on my computer. So I did finish Cinderella Necromancer during my lunch break. The ending was absolutely wild, so I really don't want to spoil anything. But Ella does fully become a necromancer. The power is like within her now. She does some epic stuff. There is a wedding. It was so much fun, and I definitely want to read more because there's a big bad who doesn't go away. So like there are so many demons, and it's a really interesting take on the Cinderella story. Now I did read the author's note, and the story is more inspired by like the traditional fairy tale, which I can't remember how to pronounce, the Brothers Grimm one, but it's more based on the original story of the character Cinderella. And then a lot of it is actually based in historical elements. There is actually a book that was that existed that mentioned demons that existed in a royal library. And it was just like so much fun to read. I had the best time. And I really don't want to spoil it because you should go read it. But I will say, like, there are twists, there are turns. I just think it's a really great retelling of a story, especially because it doesn't draw from like the Disney version. So it is a more like grim and dark kind of story. But there are happy moments, which I really, really enjoyed. So it's so good. I love seeing Ella's relationship to her brother. And we get into how the magic system does work, beyond the fact that you're just summoning demons to do your bidding. And that freezing is important. I also was able to take the photo I really wanted to post. So you can check this out now, because it'll already be up by the time I post this. But I did a photo inspired by the cover, because I wanted to do the prompt for take a photo with the book with a witch on a cover, something along those lines. But yes, so it's very, very good. I'm very glad I finished it during my lunch, and now I'm gonna go see if my computer has made any progress downloading this thing I need. So I have to go, but I will start The Shining tonight. Because the 2 audiobooks I kind of want to save for the workday. If I get through things a little early, I have some extra books that I want to like fit in for the challenge. So I have Slewfoot on standby as a Kindle read. But yes, so I will let you go because I gotta go. But it was really, 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 really good. I really liked it, and you should check it out. It's Cinderella Necromancer, and I will also have talked about it on Instagram. But I think you have to Google it. It might not be available right now because I know there were some like issues with like it's difficult to buy right now because there's like a limited amount of them available still. You might be able to get it digitally though. I'm not sure. I have a physical copy, but I don't know that physical copies still exist currently. So just, you have to go through Amazon. So look for it on Amazon. Cinderella Necromancer. Very, very good. Gotta go. Bye. Hello, it is the next day, so it is day 2 of Winterween, and I am going to make French toast. So before I actually start cooking, I'm I'm pouring this into a cup. This is Stoke Peppermint Mocha Creamed Cold Brew. It's really, really good. Their pumpkin one is really good. We actually still have some that we stocked up before all the stores like got rid of theirs. But I'm drinking the peppermint one because Krista really likes the pumpkin one, and she's having the pumpkin one upstairs while I make my French toast. I already filled you in on the 2 books I read. I started The Shining, but I'm not far enough to tell you anything really. We have set up that Jack has a temper and that Jack was an alcoholic. Which I'm very sure he's gonna drink while they're at the Overlook. Like, I'm like, that's gonna happen for sure. We have set up that Danny can like see into people's minds if he tries hard enough, which I know that Dr. Sleep exists already. So like, that's all about Danny Torrance. So I was like, oh, okay. So they're actually in the book, going to show that Danny has like psychic-y powers or like other world powers. And then we've met Wendy, the wife. We've met some other characters, like the person who runs the hotel, but he won't be there. So like, we've met the 3 Torrances that we really need to know about. We've also been told about a murder that occurred at the hotel previously during the winter, where Grady, they just keep calling him Grady, they think he was already an alcoholic. That's like the big argument. Like, he was an alcoholic. He got cabin fever, killed his wife and daughter. And then it was covered up kind of by the papers because the manager, like the guy who runs the hotel, is really good at getting that done. So that's all we really know. So like, I really know so far. They haven't gotten to the Overlook yet. Their car is a really old red Bug, which will not be able to make any travel in snow. So once the snow hits, they're doomed. Like, that car's not gonna move, but they can't afford a new car. Because Jack has been let go from a previous position. This is all very early in the book, so it doesn't feel like spoilers. I have been doing this thing. So the reason I'm reading The Shining is, besides the fact that it fits the snowy theme, because it will snow soon in the book, I have actually seen The Shining movie, but a very long time ago. And I'm trying to read all the Stephen King books for the movies I have watched. So I've done Carrie, I've done Misery, so now I'm on The Shining. I recently watched Pet Sematary, so I think once I finish The Shining, I'll see if my father-in-law will give me his copy of Pet Sematary tomorrow. He has like all the Stephen King books, so I can just ask him to borrow them. That's why my The Shining copy is like an older trade paperback. He just let me borrow it because I mentioned I wanted to read it, which is very nice of him. So I have that, but I can't read it while I'm cooking, obviously. I don't know that I'm going to play an audiobook today. I have some YouTube that I want to catch up on, so I'll probably do that. Might throw something on. I'm hoping to actually watch The Shining before the challenge is over because it's been a while since I've seen it. Oh, the other movie I need to watch is, or that I've seen, I need to read the book for, is It. Also, did I remember his name? Alexei, the character, this is so unimportant, but the character in Dowry of Blood that I couldn't remember, who I was like, what was his name? Anatole? It's not Anatole. I knew it wasn't Anatole. It's Alexei, because he's from Russia. I should have been like, what is a very common Russian name? So it was Alexei. It was just bothering me that I remembered. So I'm gonna start cooking. I'm also super tired, so I'm probably gonna chug this coffee. At 2:30 in the morning, our basement smoke alarm was not going off, but the battery died, so it was chirping the like, no battery, no battery, no battery. It's just the like single solitary beep every so often so that you know the battery is dying. And 2 of our dogs are deathly afraid of smoke alarms. Used to burn a lot of stuff on the stove. And there was one right by our living room that would go off and it scared the crap out of them. So they hate smoke alarm sounds. And the problem is the one for our downstairs and the one for our basement are actually pretty close together because the basement one is in the stairwell down, because that's the only place you can put it. And then the one for our downstairs is like right next to this like meeting of the rooms. So I couldn't tell which one of them was going off. And I was like, oh, hopefully it's this one. And I like took that one down. I took the battery out to replace it. And then they were still beeping. And I was like, no, it's the basement. Because we have some stuff in front of the basement door because we don't go down there. So I had to like move a bunch. I had to move a dog crate is really what I do. I had to move dog crates and get down there. And then I had to keep the cats from running down there because our cats love going in our basement, but we don't want them in the basement. They've been in it before. We used to have their litter boxes down there, but it was not a smart idea. Our basement's not finished, which is very common for upstate New York, because it's not finished. It sometimes gets a little water in it when like when it's really rainy. And so the cats would like play in the water that was coming into the basement and they would come upstairs soaking wet and like carrying weird stuff that they found in the basement. So we couldn't have them down there anymore. But they try and get down there anytime the door is open. So like at 2:30 in the morning, I was like bundled up because it's freezing down there. And I was like, ugh, and I was like trying to like wiggle into the basement so they couldn't get in and like get all, it was a whole thing. But we got to go back to sleep, which was a plus. So I'm gonna make breakfast. I might show you some of the process. I'll just have my camera set up. But I'm gonna drink my coffee. I'm gonna start making French toast. And I will update you more throughout the day. Possibly not on books, though I do want to read more of The Shining today, but I might not do that till tonight. So we'll see what I have to fill you in on. But bye for now.
No way I haven't tried that bed on this channel yet, right? As I was pinning, it dawned on me that I should probably test the thickness of this fabric and make sure that it actually works. As a camera frame. Now we're down here. So something I noticed, because the loops on the bottom are kind of a little loose, I guess, it's just like not quite as tight as, say, a normal sewing machine. And I don't know if that's because of me. Am I the problem? What I think I might do for the invisible seams anyways is go over once, flip it over, go over it twice, just to be sure, which is kind of annoying, but...
Hello from my office. This is like a very quick little thing. It's actually like 2, possibly almost 3 o'clock. I just took a shower, so my hair is up and very wet. I'm wearing a very cute Ghostbusters onesie for the day. And I'm gonna film my reading routine, like reel for the Instagram part of Winterween. Though I don't really have a reading routine, because I don't read, like I read when I can. So like during work, I might listen to an audiobook, or like during my lunch break, I might read a physical book. I might read a book while I'm waiting for something to load on my computer, or if I'm waiting for a meeting to start and I can't really do any like specific work tasks in that time, in like a 5-minute little window. But like, I don't really have one. Like in the morning, I make coffee normally, or I like drink coffee. So I'm just gonna film me making coffee and reading The Shining. We got a ton of snow. We weren't really supposed to get that much, but we've definitely gotten more. Thankfully, while we were asleep, our across the street neighbor very nicely snow plowed a little, so it's not as bad, but we're gonna have to go out and do some snow removal stuff. Beyond that, I got to part 2 of The Shining, which is not very far, but they're headed to the Outlook at this point. And then we watched all of The Fall of the House of Usher finally. So the Netflix show, by Mike Flanagan. We finally watched it. I enjoyed it because I like knew a lot of the references, but the problem was anytime I would see the like, I know you're really close to my face, the like title of the episode, I would instantly be like, oh, well, this is probably how this is gonna happen. The only one that like super surprised me was the eldest daughter Tamerlane, because I don't remember the Goldbug story at all. I could not remember it in any way. I was trying, I just didn't want to Google it. I could have, but so that one was a surprise to me. And the eldest son, Frederick, his was sort of a surprise-ish, mostly because he was evil. So that was really it on the like surprise factor for me, because once I would see the title I'd be like, oh well, the following has to happen, or like something along these lines has to happen. So like I still enjoyed it and I liked seeing the Poe adaptations, but like the other problem is for this one, I own a DVD of Poe adaptations that are like different artists and creators making different like shorts or small like film kind of things that I really like. And it does all those stories too. So like I've seen a lot of adaptations of Poe, and so if I'm not like super in the mood for it, like it's not my favorite. So I did still like it. It might be my least favorite, but I did really like the acting. I just think story-wise it might be my least favorite of the Flanagan ones I've seen so far. I really, really like Midnight Mass. That might actually be my favorite, but I was raised Catholic, so like while that was going on, I was just like reciting by rote, like unintentionally, all of the response lines to the priest. And I think the idea of vampirism and the Catholic Church is very clever. It's also based on a book, and I have the audiobook that I want to listen to this year. So that one might be my favorite now, but I really like Haunting of Hill House a lot. But I like the love story in Bly Manor so much. It's really good. So those are things that have occurred. I should probably eat something. I had coffee and then I had to clean litter boxes. We were trying to set up this litter box thing we bought that does not work. We had to set up our snowblower. My parents very nicely gifted us a snowblower because we haven't had one. And last year we spent a lot of money getting snow removed by like a guy we knew, but it's really expensive to get your snow removed, especially if there's like a lot of snow coming down. So they gifted us a snowblower, which is very nice of them, so that we can take care of our stuff, which is nice. And then yeah, so I should probably eat something. I need to film that thing, so I'm gonna make a little bit of coffee. I'm probably gonna do like espresso or something, just like a little thing, so I can drink it and then figure out what we're doing for food because I'm so hungry. But yes, I had to shower because of the litter box doing. I felt really gross. I will possibly not talk to you again until tomorrow, which is not intentional. It's just like I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get to do, and also I don't know if I have anything exciting to show you. Maybe we'll see. I'll pull the camera out if I think of anything. If not, I will see you in some nebulous later, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. Bye for now.
It was close. You made me do it.
We are doing charcuterie and watching the originals. Bruni says hi. But I cut up all the stuff, so we're gonna eat. Gonna watch the show.
It was like, excuse me.
Hi, Chloe. You look so cute. Hello. Yeah, so I've never seen the originals. Chris has never seen the originals. I know you can't see me and I'm just talking over a TV show. But we watched all of Vampire Diaries and we're doing this and then we're gonna watch Legacies when we finish this. So we're gonna eat some food. So bye. Hello. Look at the puzzle. Okay, I have done pretty much no reading. I've read half a chapter of The Shining, which is basically no reading. But we did my birthday. Christmas. This was a Christmas gift. My Christmas puzzle that Krista got me that has us and the pups on it. Though the size of the pups is up to interpretation. But we just finished it.
Chloe says it's accurate.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be Chloe. And Chloe is probably half that size. And that's Parker, who is accurate. And Kira, who's actually a little thinner than that, and probably a little shorter. She's a little smaller than Park. And then that's Brune. And he's a little too tall. Not bad, like he's pretty close.
Should be wider though.
But yeah, Bruny's a little chubbier than that. And then that's me. And that's Krista. But it's super cute. We just finished it. And then Lord knows if I'll actually do any reading because we had some wine with our charcuterie because that's what you do. And now I'm really tired and we have work tomorrow. So I'll read more of The Shining tomorrow. It's fine. I have, what, 4 more days of the reading challenge. I've plenty of time to finish The Shining and do some audiobooks. So I'm going to show you Chloe and her alligator toy. She'll show you the toy. And then Bruni taking a nap and Kira taking a nap. And Parker is not out right now because he got into a little bit of trouble today because he peed in the house. So
And food.
yes, so he is in puppy timeout, but everyone else is just like napping or chilling because the fireplace is on. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna say good night, and I will talk to you sometime tomorrow. All right, bye. Oh, this is such a goofy angle. Hi, okay, so it is morning. It is before work on Monday. And I've already started listening to I Feed Her to the Beast, and the Beast is me. It is really, really good. I also wanted to show off some clothes I got. Though a lot of this is gonna cut off my head. This is the only one with pants, so I'm gonna like stand up so you can see the full thing. But these are from Blackcraft, which I went to in Salem, Massachusetts. But I didn't buy anything on that trip. We were also going to Rhode Island Comic-Con. So I didn't buy anything at Blackcraft because I didn't know what I was buying at the Comic-Con, and I already wanted to buy some like specific Salem stuff. And at the time, they didn't have anything in the store that said Salem on it. I may have come on a weekend where they were just sold out of it because it was right after Halloween. We went in November. The tourism there right after Halloween is great because there's not as many people, so it wasn't as busy. But I think they were just like sold out of a lot of stuff. So they were having a like sale on a couple things. So I picked some up. I bought a shirt around Christmas time that is super cute. It says, like, beware Krampus. Krampus. And it's a cat doing like a Krampus face, and it has little horns, and it's really, really cute. And I wore it in a video on my Instagram. But I bought some stuff because I really like them. And they had a Salem piece and a Sleepy Hollow piece that I really liked. Have not been to Sleepy Hollow yet, even though I live in New York. One of these days we are going to go. We just haven't gone yet. But this is the first piece, so I'm going to stand up all the way so you can see it. Even though it cuts off part of my head. Ooh, maybe not. There we go. So these are Death Moth pajamas, which I think are so fun. And I did not realize it said Dead Inside on the front, even though I purchased them. I don't know why, but I think it's fun. They're little pink. I'll come a little closer so you can see. They're like pink and like pastel-y. They're really cute. I really like them. And the other stuff I bought. So this is a tiny thing. These are just Krampus socks. I'm really into Krampus this year. Well, I guess last year, but I did like a whole lady Krampus look, and I'm still super into Krampus. I just think Krampus is like a cool character to do. So these socks. And then, so I was talking about Salem pieces. We'll back up so you can see it. I already tried this on. It's super cozy, but it's entering Salem in a black cat. I'm a sucker for things that say Salem and have black cats because I have a black cat named Salem, who I got after we went on this trip, which was completely unplanned. We got back and Krista happened to see a posting for some black kittens at a local shelter, and we went to go meet who we thought were going to be two boy cats, and this girl cat just like came up to us and like did not want to leave us alone. She was just like, hi, 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 and she just like wanted to be picked up by us and hang out with us, and so we took her home and we named her Salem because I've always wanted a black cat named Salem. But I love this shirt. It is super, super cozy, and it's like slightly bleached tie-dyed. I think it depends. It was sort of like a depending on sale, like could be different. So like some on the website look more bleach tie-dyed, but I really like this one. Super cozy. Okay, and the final thing is the reason I even bought anything anyway, is this very cool Sleepy Hollow shirt. I love the art on the front of this. This is so cool. And then on the back it says heads will roll, which is incredible. I love it. So yes, so those are the things I bought. Excluding the shirt I bought myself around Christmas. But yeah, so I am actually reading and listening to things. I might have glasses on in later updates, solely because my my right eye is bothering me for some reason, and I have blue light glasses for when my eyes are bothering me. So I might wear those. They're not prescription, like they're just glasses with blue light reduction kind of lenses. So I might have those on, I don't know. But I am really liking I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me. And I got a little farther in The Shining. So in The Shining, I'm officially at the point where the Torrances are alone. But nothing creepy has officially happened yet. And then I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me. Our main character, Laure, which is said in a more French accent. I apologize. I took how to read French. It was mandatory when I was in grad school. I do not know how to speak French. I can't even fake it very well. Yes, I know I'm crouching because of where my camera is. But She has performed. We've really gotten into like the ballet world of Paris, which is very interesting, and everyone is horrible to her, except someone she just met. But whew, yeah, there is an author's note at the beginning, even with the audiobook, where she explains like the reasoning behind the book. And it was really like, it was a great author's note. I've never gone into a book with that. It also included trigger warnings and they were very helpful. But yes, so very intrigued to see where this goes. Just so intrigued, because there's definitely deals with some kind of entity. So I'm very curious, but I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna get closer to you because I'm gonna have to turn off my light and my camera. So yes, so I'm gonna go. I will update you more probably by end of day about the book. And then I will also maybe have the Shining updates. Maybe, we'll see. All right, bye for now. Hi. Okay, so I have my glasses on still because my head kind of hurts. I took some Excedrin. I've had a lot of caffeine. I sometimes get migraines, and I think this was like a baby migraine, but I fended it off, thankfully, so I feel a little bit better. I'm still wearing my very cute Dead Inside Death Moth pajamas. I also feel like, not that you can super tell, I feel like, but I still have my eye makeup on. And in the mirror with my hair up, I feel like I look like a goth librarian, which is fun. But I wanted to check in because my workday has officially ended, and I have finished. I featured the Beast, and the Beast is me. You might notice reflections from my work computers. They're still, my monitors are still on, even though my day's over. So, So I listened to the audiobook for it. I really love the audiobook performer. I swear she has done another book that I listened to, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. So actually I'm gonna push these up. I think I'm okay. All right, vision did a little thing, but I'm gonna keep them up there. Okay, so in it, I already mentioned like the basic premise from what I listened to before work started. But since I finished it, it like worked out perfectly. I could start a little and then I managed to finish it by the end of my workday. So in it, Lore is our main character. And I don't think this is spoilery. She does make a deal with an entity. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it'll feed into that more in the book. But she does make a deal that will allow her to take control and basically ensure that she can get the ballet goals that she has always wanted. My dogs are gonna bark because my wife, I think, is home. But she makes this deal, and throughout the course of the book, the demon energy inside of her is like growing. She's very powerful. We meet other characters who have also made a deal or deals, and these have changed them physically in some capacity. I can't really say too much about the book without spoiling it. I will say that she does start to get what she wants. She starts having the ability to get solos, to get the career she wants, but she keeps hearing that it's still not enough. She's taken on this deal, she has this power, but people are also dying who have made deals. And so it's sort of a murder mystery, which I wasn't expecting, and also the story of Lore. So it's a very interesting read because we're following her trying to figure out who is behind a certain set of murders, but also watching his career is changing. So it is just like it's so many different things than what I thought it was. I still really enjoyed it. I think the Black Swan comparison really only fits for the idea of ballet and obsession with perfection, but that is just ballet in and of itself. There is an obsession with perfection. So saying it's like Black Swan, it feels kind of like a misdirect because it's really not that. It's more Faustian in a way. So I did really enjoy it, just not what I expected. I love that Laura's a messy bisexual, which is very fun. I love that there are changes to characters as the story progresses. And I love a little bit that her solving the mystery gets a little bit confused, in that she just doesn't have all the knowledge that she needs. And even some of the knowledge she gets, she misinterprets. So it's just interesting to me that it was a mystery and also the story of Lore, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to really just focus on her and the deal she had made with this entity. It was very interesting. I do like the lore they built up, and it sounded like there might be a sequel based on the end of the book. I don't know if that's like a thing that's actually been announced, but it seemed like there was a teaser that there could be a sequel. So I would definitely check it out. I think my expectations would be different for the next one. I think I would just expect something a little different. I just think the explanation of this book for me initially was just not correct. Like, I think the way they set it up just didn't really fit what it was, but I still really enjoyed it. So I would recommend it. Just don't go into it thinking it's like Black Swan, because it's definitely not. So I did enjoy it. I'm gonna try and read more of The Shining tonight. And tomorrow I'm officially starting Maeve Fly, which I'm very excited about, which also means I get to start my workday in the dark, which it'll be dark-ish. I'll have my monitors on. Maybe I'll start it in the bedroom before work officially starts, but I'm gonna go, because my day is over. So bye for now, everyone. Hello. This is probably the only time you're gonna see me today. Is the 5th day of Winterween, and I'm sick. I woke up and I just felt really, really awful. Not like cold, I'm just like, actually I'm cold right now, but like my nose has been running, my eyes have been kind of like I just felt really, really tired, because I didn't feel well. I actually called in sick today, which I like never do. The puppies are playing tug right now, but Krista felt even worse, so she's very sure she has an ear infection, so she went to the like quick med clinic to see if they could see her, and she's been there for like almost 2 hours now because they're just so busy. I just think I needed rest, so like I went back to sleep and slept after I called into work, because like you have to go in and tell someone that you're not going to be there and submit your time and stuff. I'll show you them in a sec. They're having a lot of fun. So I've just been, now that I'm awake, I've been drinking coffee because I like coffee. It makes me feel happy. So I've been drinking coffee and reading The Shining. I'm almost 200 pages in, I think. And then I'm downstairs. I was gonna read upstairs, but Parker, so like the girl pups, Chloe and Kira, I will show you them. Here, I'll just pan over. You're gonna see a lot of our living room. But Chloe, who is looking at the camera, it's her birthday today. And then Kira, who's laying down there, you can't really see her because she's messing with something on the floor that I think I have to take away from her. They came up and went back to sleep with me and Krista once we called in sick. Krista's felt awful for days, but she can't really like take off sometimes just because her schedule is too busy. So today she was like, I don't have anything on my calendar. I feel miserable. I really need to go see a doctor because of my ear. So she's out. And then I said I would stay with the pups because I just didn't really want to go anywhere. And I just feel like generally tired and bull. So I don't think I have anything specific. I think I'm just like really tired and a little run down. But Chloe and Kira got to come back up and sleep with us until like 12:30. And then Bruni hung down here with ambient music on. And then Parker can only be out if he's supervised right now. Nothing bad. He just like, he had a couple accidents in the house when we left him down here on his, like with Bruni. So we have to either watch him while he's out or like he has to be in a crate when no one can watch him. They're playing with each other. And so Bruni, stop. So Parker was going to come up and hang out with me while I read The Shining. Now he's playing tug with his sister. Kira's wandering around. I'll turn this back around so you can see me since I'm doing most of the talking. Focus, there we go. He was gonna hang out with me upstairs while I read, but all the other dogs were down here and he really wanted to play with them. And so even though I'd rather be reading in bed, I'm reading at our nook. Sorry, my nose is really ready. So I brought him down here and so they've been playing while I've been reading and drinking coffee, and they've had ambient music stuff on because it keeps them from hearing all the outside sounds because we live in a city. And I have had like YouTube stuff playing on my iPad, that I wanted to watch when I was taking breaks from reading and stuff. So I'm gonna go. Again, I don't think I'm gonna check in again. I'm wearing my Jack Skellington onesie because I wanted cozy pajamas. But I'm just gonna read The Shining and hopefully feel better. And yeah, so hopefully tomorrow I feel a lot better. I still have Maeve Fly to listen to, but that's not gonna take me very long. And I'm hoping to get a hunk of The Shining done today, since I'm not feeling well and I don't have anything else to do. Whoop, did you find it? There's a toy under the nook and Kira was trying to get it. But I'm gonna go. This is my day 5 update where I'm sick and dressed like Jack Skellington. And hopefully tomorrow I can give you a big update on The Shining. I just don't want to get into it right now because I'm too tired. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I hope no one else is sick during Winterween. I hope you're feeling much healthier. I know it's cold and flu season. I know it's not like the actual cold that's going around because it's been knocking people out. I'm just, I think, overly tired. So I'm gonna go. I will talk to you on day 6. Bye. Good morning. It is day, what day is it? Oh, day 6? Yeah, it has to be, right? Day 6 of Winterween. I'm feeling a lot better. I rested most of yesterday, which was good. But then we got hit with this massive windstorm. So starting at 8 p.m., this is so bizarre. There was literally a once in your lifetime windstorm that hit our town. Winds up to like 78 miles an hour. It was wild. It shook the house. There were tree branches everywhere. Luckily, we managed to not lose power, even though I was very sure we were going to, because we have some low-hanging trees by some power lines in our neighborhood, but we didn't, which was great. And they actually got power restored to people overnight because they were like prepared for power to go out, so that was a plus. But yeah, so I am going back to work this morning. I just made coffee, and I'm getting ready to start the day. I had to boot everything up, so it's pretty bright in here, but I had to start just a second. I did want to tell you that I've read more of The Shining. So I am, ta-da! I like don't know how this corresponds with like newer versions of this book. This is a paperback. I've mentioned this before. I'm borrowing it from my father-in-law. So this is like a trade paperback from a time when you could get this for $4.95. And I am on chapter 38. That should be the same for every book. And for me, that's page 309, and then there's 447. So I have like 138 pages left, which is actually pretty good. I read a lot yesterday, even though I wasn't feeling well, just because I really want to like get through the book. I've gotten to the point where it's like really picked up. Jack, so I feel like everyone knows the story of The Shining, so I don't feel bad kind of spoiling a tiny bit. Just because I feel like everyone knows the story. If you don't, I guess skip this portion, but like I feel like The Shining is like a thing everyone knows. So at this point I have gotten to where they're snowed in, and Jack is really like facing the effects of the overlook. It is like getting into his mind. He ripped something out of the snowblower so they can't use it. He thought the topiary animals moved. He has like dozed off randomly. He destroyed the radio because his father's voice came out of it. He's seen the ghost in 217. He had a full conversation with a bartender who, interestingly, in the writing style, does not talk back to him, which I thought was very clever. And Danny knows that the Overlook hates him. He says the Overlook hates, like, it just does not like him. It does not want him, like, it... I feel like based on how it's going, it doesn't want him there because I think it's interfering with the hotel's ability to turn Jack. But like Jack is also starting to notice when Danny is trying to get into his head, because Danny's been trying to figure out like, where have you been? What are you doing? What are you thinking? Because he's trying to figure out what's going on. Wendy is more afraid of the Overlook, but overall she hasn't like been experiencing anything really. Danny was choked by the ghost in 217, and Wendy did think it was Jack who did it, which makes absolute sense. There is a discussion of abuse in the household prior to this. But the issue is that Jack, who has not been drinking, is now like really desperately wanting alcohol. He's chewing Excedrin, which I cannot even imagine. I take Excedrin for migraines and only when I'm getting a migraine because they're the only thing that works for me. But I swallow those. They taste awful just sitting in your mouth. I can't even imagine someone who actively puts one between their teeth and like gnaws it down. Like, why would you do that? Why? I'm sure there's a reason, but like, ugh. They keep talking about the taste and I'm just like, oh, gross. Yeah, they're awful. Why are you doing this? Jack has also said he wants to write a book about the Overlook, which was completely shot down because he told Ullman, yeah, it's the guy who interviewed him for the job that he does not like. And then Al, who actually got him the job, his friend, called him and was like, you definitely can't write a book. Don't do that. I'm tied up in this hotel. Like, I'm gonna be making money off of it, so don't do this to me. So the last little bit I read, Danny was seemingly attacked by the topiary animals. The lions and the dog chased him, but Jack said he's making it up, that's not real, even though he has seen it, and Danny like knows his father has seen it because of The Shining. Also, I had no idea, I'm just gonna read this out, I had no idea that The Shining was a Dany thing. Even though I've seen the movie, I feel like they just don't get into that like at all. But it's been a long time, though. It's a Stanley Kubrick movie, so I mean, I just remember it being long, which sounds mean, but that's all I remember from the movie is it's long. I remember an elevator of blood. I remember the here's Johnny, and like scenes with Dany, and I remember the woman a little, but I think I like blocked it out because when I watched it I was like, I don't want to see this, I don't need this. So I do really want to watch it again. I think I have to rent it on something because like I don't own it, just to know, even though I'm sure it's very different. All the adaptations so far have been very different when I've read the book, but I am liking the book a lot so far. I need to finish it, so the goal actually might be to finish that today, just like whenever I have downtime, during lunch, whenever, and focus on Maeve Fly as my final book of the challenge and listen to it during work tomorrow. I really want to get to it, so like if I get way too busy and there's no way I can like try and read anything today, I'll listen to that instead, so that might be a change, but I am trying to finish this. Also, Maeve Fly is going to be a little goofy because I've been reading The Shining in the dark before I go to bed, which would mean it could count for 2 prompts, and I picked Maeve Fly solely because I just wanted to read it, and so I was like, it's my in the dark book, which means I'm just gonna have to turn off my office lights like at the beginning of the day to start the book, but I can't, I'm not gonna be in the dark all day. Whatever, it's just, that one's gonna be like a gimme book. It kind of fits a prompt, sort of, because I'm making it fit, but I'm gonna go, because my work day is definitely about to start. I have my coffee, I'm gonna drink coffee, I'm gonna get to work, and when I get a chance, I'm gonna read more of The Shining. So, bye for now. Hello, this is a terrible angle, but I have finished The Shining. My lunch break is like on the cusp of like done / I have a couple minutes while I'm waiting for some stuff to reload, but I finished The Shining. It gets wild at the end. Like, I know for a fact that the ending of this book is not the ending that happens in the movie. It just isn't. It's not even remotely the same. But I like, so I don't want to spoil the ending in case you haven't seen it. I will say the scene everyone knows where like Jack is running around with a weapon, it does kind of happen in the book, which would be expected. It's just interesting because the weapon is completely different. So throughout the book, they keep mentioning this roque court. Roque? I think it's roque. Which is basically like croquet, but played in the vein of cricket. And it used to be like a big deal. Now no one plays it because it's really complicated. But there's like this huge roque court, and so there are roque mallets. And in the scenes where you know Jack from the movie has the hatchet or like the big axe, it's a roque mallet instead, which is kind of frightening because he uses it in a number of ways. As the story progresses, I will say there's that bartender that I mentioned. He does actually begin speaking, so more elements of the Overlook start talking to Jack directly. I'm gonna scoot down. I should have put this on top of my stack of books. Yes, I'm in a terrible angle, and you can even see the camera strap. Whatever. I have to get back to work. But yeah, the ending is wild. Like, the ending at the Overlook is wild, and I really don't want to give too much away because it's just so, like, not what I expected because I'd only seen the movie, and it's so different from the movie. And then, I will say, surprisingly, this is a spoiler, so you can ignore this, but, like, there's kind of a happy ending, which is so confounding to me because it's a Stephen King book. I don't know why I was confounded by that, but I was. But I did really enjoy the book. I know for a fact, even without having rewatched the movie, that I like the book more than the movie, which is great, because Misery, I like the movie more, which is nothing against Misery the book. I just think Misery the book is too long, but we're like doing the captivity of the author, so it's a little different. And Carrie, the movie, I really like. I mean, I like it. It's not like my favorite movie in the world. And I really like The Weight of Blood, which is like a retelling of Carrie. But the book, Carrie, while I liked it, it does the thing that happens in here a lot, where like we're hearing what people are thinking in their head, and so it's in parentheses, and so you're just stuck like hopping between a paragraph and parentheses, and that in Carrie threw me off so much because it was the first time I had seen it happening. And then like newspaper articles would just kind of like be thrown into the text, so like I don't know if it was also the formatting of the book I had, but it was making the reading experience slightly more confusing for me. This, I saw those parentheses and I was like, oh, this is internal monologue time. So like my brain remembered that that was a writing thing that King does, so it wasn't as jarring. But I did really enjoy this. Definitely good for snowy setting. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I don't really rate books. Like I don't give them stars. It's more like, did I like it? Did I not like it? Was I ambivalent to it? I actually like this. Ambivalent would be like if I read the whole book and then I was like, meh, like that happened. There are some books I have read all the way through that I didn't like. And then there are books I like. No, if I love a book, I might say like, oh, if I rated books, I would give it a 5-star. This admittedly like is not a book I loved, so I would not say that. I just like, I don't, star ratings throw me off because sometimes I'm like, I can't really quantify exactly, because like sometimes I'll like parts of a book but not the whole book. This I like. I just, even though it on like one of the blurbs on here is like so fast-paced, I think it takes a little bit for the book to pick up for me, which I have noticed with King. His stuff starts a little slower and then builds up. And then I read something by Joe Hill, who is his son, and he's actually who he dedicates the book to, which I was like, oh, cool. I read Nosferatu by him, and I think he's a little better at pacing than his dad. I will say Nosferatu makes me think of It a lot, so I feel like he wrote Nosferatu as like his It, which I have not read It. It's on the list, It and Pet Sematary, so I'm planning on reading those before the year is out. But I have some other stuff I want to read before I delve into It, because I know It is like a million billion pages, so I need like a month where I'm not reading anything else or like planning anything else, and I just read It, I think. But yeah, so really enjoyed this. Great for the snowy setting prompt. I gotta go. But I finished it. I'm very excited, and I am going to watch the movie today. I'll just have it on as background, I think, just because it's been a while and I found it online, so I can watch it. I may report back to you on that while I'm cooking dinner. But I'm gonna go. But I really enjoyed this. I had a fun time. Alright, bye for now. I'll talk to you later today, hopefully. Hello. There's a lot of space above my head, but I just propped my camera up on my desk because my workday is over. I did play The Shining in the background for the end of the day, which was more time than the movie, but still, you still don't like that movie. I didn't like it when I watched it the first time. I still don't like it. Okay, I am going to get into, I'm gonna sit on my feet for a sec before I go downstairs. It's too long. I understand it's Stanley Kubrick, but jeez, he could have edited so much. Anyway, or done different things. Also, the soundtrack of that movie, not even the soundtrack, the audio editing and some of it genuinely hurt my head. Now again, I was sick yesterday, I had an almost migraine on Monday, so like I am slightly more sensitive to annoying noises, like high-pitched noises and stuff right now. But like, there's so many scenes where there's just like a high-pitched like beep, deep, deep, over and over again. I was like, I can't handle this. This is so annoying. And then they like decide to show us Dick and Danny both like seeing things in the Overlook at one point. This is just part of sound design. I am going to spoil some stuff, so I'm gonna like talk about that after this. I'll tell you in a sec. But they like play this unending screeching-y sound for so long that I was like, ow, ow, like I was getting a headache. I can't even imagine if I had been in a theater and had to deal with that sound. I think I would have left. Like, I think I would have just been like, I can't stay in this room. I can't do this. It was so genuinely painful. With just, like, it's playing on an iPad that I have in, like, the corner of my room as, like, sound. Like, I just, ugh, awful. It was awful. Okay. At this point, until I'm in a different outfit, because this is probably the last thing I'm going to film for today, because I'm still, like, I feel a lot better than yesterday, but I'm still kind of tired, so, like, after I film this and we do out and I cook dinner, probably just gonna lounge for the rest of the night and like not read, not do anything important. Probably watch the originals. We're like half-ish way through season 2. I mentioned this. We watched all of Vampire Diaries because I'd never seen it. And Krista had seen most of it when it was on TV. This is a tangent. But she never saw the originals or Legacies. So we're watching the originals now, which we really like. We're like halfway through. And then once we finish that, we're going to do Legacies, which has been interesting because it's all on different streaming services. Anyway, back to The Shining. From this point on, if I am wearing this particular pajama outfit, I'm gonna wear a cooler outfit for final day of Winterween, I think. I'm gonna be talking about parts of The Shining, the movie, that made no sense to me. And it won't be very long because really I do have to go help with outs and start cooking dinner. But, okay, starting now, spoilers for book and movie. Okay, so I understand that you are filming in a location that is not the hotel from the book. Like, you're filming a completely different hotel. I get it. You can't do the topiaries because there is a hedge maze that exists there, I'm assuming. The rook court does not exist, so you just don't bring it in. But like, so many things were like taken out of the movie that would have helped. Like, we never get into the fact that Jack has been fired. We never actually discuss the fact that he was on the wagon until he's suddenly drinking. We like brush off the fact that he, in the movie, they say he dislocated Danny's arm, when in the book it's that he broke his arm when he was 3, and it's like this big moment for him. Like, it's awful. It's a whole thing. But like, we never get into like any of the things that led him to be at this job at all. Like, he just doesn't talk about them. He also was like interviewing for the job instead of just like having the job. So like, Al doesn't exist, which is so baffling to me. And then I'm just like, okay, fine. If you're gonna take all that stuff out, at least like have the relationships that exist in the book exist in the movie. But in this movie, Jack seems to hate his entire family before we even get to the Overlook. Like, he's a jerk to Danny in the car, and then he's a jerk to Wendy the entire time they are there. When like, that's not how the book shakes out. Like, it's more that he's like, the Overlook is like taking his alcoholism and his anger issues and like using it for its own gain of Jack. And in this movie, that's not what's happening. Like, he's already just a douche waffle. Like, he's awful. Like, he's just a bad person the whole time. Like, do you even care about your family? Why are they even here? Why did you bring them? And then I do appreciate that they still had the Decaloran parts, like we show that he's connected to Danny, but they take away so much of Danny's freaking agency in this movie because they have like Tony possess him. Like, Tony is like an entity unto himself that can take over Danny's being for some reason, which makes no sense to me. Like, we don't get into the fact that like Danny is like seeing things or like no stuff is happening really. Like, there's bits of him like seeing this like weird, I remember this from the first time I watched it, the nonsensical river of blood through the hallway. Why is there a river of blood? It doesn't even make sense. It's not like there are vampires or mass stabby things. Like, I don't understand the point. And then, okay, I will say, the way the book ends, so like, I'm annoyed that we don't get the topiary monsters because I like the topiaries a lot in the book. Like, I thought they added a lot. I also understand Snowcat versus Snowmobile. I think they're called Snowcats because like, it's safer for the actors to be in like an actual enclosed device. Snowmobiles are very dangerous to be on. But like, we just killed Dick in the movie. Like, what? Why? Why? What was the point? Like, why would you get rid of him? He lives in the book. Why? Mr. Kubrick, why? That annoyed the crap out of me. I was like, seriously? Seriously, he lives with like a broken face in the book. Like, just have him be really injured. So annoying. And then, okay, I get that, again, probably too difficult to do some of the things that happen in the end. So like, in the book, when it's ending, Jack destroys his face because Danny keeps saying it's a false face, it's a false face, it's a false face. And then he just destroys it so that he is no longer Jack. He's just like the Overlook Hotel embodied. Again, they're not going to want to do that. That feels like a lot of prosthetics that would be difficult to do, or like would require a lot of money and time, and you don't want to do them. Fine. But like, they never talk about the boiler. None of the like maintenance stuff that occurred in the book that was like vital to upkeeping the Overlook ever happens. Like, it just seems like they're sitting in this hotel for the sake of sitting in this hotel. Like, Jack is never doing anything to like clean, maintain, nothing. It just is so bizarre to me. But like, when they leave, so like, we move most of the action outside into the snow because they want to utilize this hedge maze, so Jack will die in the hedge maze in the movie. In the book, because there's no hedge maze, and because the hotel is key, we stay in the hotel the whole time. And so, like, it's the boiler. The boiler that has been mentioned from, like, page 1, is crucial to the hotel, and it blows up the hotel at the end of the book. Now, I get, maybe you don't want an explosion to end your movie. Maybe not. But, like, it was way more interesting than lots and lots of blood through a hallway, and then Jack Nicholson is frozen. Like, why? We couldn't have done like fire in the hotel, nothing. Okay. Also, it is weird to me in the movie, and I remember this from the first time I watched it because I was like, oh, that's creepy. I have no problem with nudity in a movie if I feel like it actually like serves a purpose or makes sense. But like, they go into the room with the dead woman in the movie, and it's a beautiful woman. But in the book, she's never beautiful. She's always like a bloated, gross corpse. Like, I don't, like, we get to, I think we actually see her like in a costume in a later scene in the book, if I remember, because like he thinks it looks like the woman in the room. But like, she never presents herself to anyone as a beautiful woman. She is always creepy corpse lady. And I don't like that it's like, it's two completely different women. Like, it's two different bodies that approach Jack. Like, I don't understand why, if you want to have a naked human being, why it's not just the same woman for both. Like, I don't understand why you need to have two different women for this. Or like two different body types. I think it is two different women. But it said young. So there must be young and old. Because I like clicked X-ray, the thing on Amazon. But anyway, I just think that's dumb. I don't understand the purpose. Like, I get, she is naked in the book, but she's a naked corpse that's like purple and gross. Anyway, just, bleh. Is that it? I don't like the movie. I don't like it. I don't like the movie. I like the book a lot more. I do not like the movie. I'm never watching the movie again. I actually blocked most of that movie out because I like got to the over halfway point and I was like, oh, I remember this movie now. But like the whole beginning of it, where like nothing is really happening, I was just like, oh, I don't remember this at all. But also, does it matter? Also, Wendy is very different. Like, I don't like that we don't get as much like Wendy and Danny explanation time. Like, we just don't, it's just an odd film. Like, I don't understand how it's so long and we're spending what seems like no time with like character motivations or character or anything. So like, I don't understand why it's so long. I don't like it. I have complaints about 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is the other Kubrick movie I've seen. I don't think I've seen anymore. I only like one section of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I like Hal, the sentient AI who kills people. I like that section, but the rest of it, I'm just kind of like, oh, whatever, I'll take it up. Which is probably uncouth or something, but whatever. But yeah, I don't like The Shining the movie. I don't like it. Also, I don't know if anyone cares, but I feel like Jack Nicholson is always playing the same guy. Like, while watching this, I was like, oh, he's doing the Joker. Like, he was doing, like, Jack Torrance seems a lot like Jack Napier from his Batman movie. And also, like, when he played the devil in, which is of Eastwick. Like, I know he's famous, he makes a lot of money, and that's great for him, but I feel like he's only ever the same guy. Like, does everyone just direct him the same way? Is he just being Jack Nicholson? Like, I don't understand. Whatever. I don't like the movie. I'm never watching the movie again. But that's it. That's my rant about The Shining the movie, which I disliked a lot and will never watch again. And I don't think my ears will ever stop ringing from those scenes with all of the meh sounds. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. I like the Shining book a lot more. Kind of want my own topiary dog. Or topiary lion. This topiary lion seemed awesome. Terrifying, but awesome. I want a little topiary lion that's like, rah! Anyway, I have to go. I have things to do. I talked for too long. I gotta take dogs out. I gotta cook dinner. I gotta go. But I will see you tomorrow on the final day of Winterween, where we listen to Maeve Fly. I'm very excited. This is the one one of the ones I was really looking forward to. I was looking forward to all of them in a sense, but like this one I have been like waiting. I also have to remind myself to like temporarily turn off the lights in my office when I start it. Or maybe I'll start it in the bedroom before I start work in the morning, and then it'll be darker, and then I'll feel more like I watched it in the dark. All right, I'm gonna go. I will see you on the final day of Winterween. Bye. Good morning. Today is the final day of Winterween. This is as dark as my office is going to get, and it's not staying like this for very long, admittedly. So I turned off the lights. I lit a candle back there, and I am about to start Maeve Fly. But I can't show you Maeve Fly, and see, it's gonna get really bright because my monitors have to be on for work. But I'm gonna push play on Maeve Fly, and I'm gonna go. But before I do, this is my fun Salem, Massachusetts sweatshirt. And then I'm getting really close to you because I'm trying to hide work stuffs. I'm using my Sanderson museum mug. Again, not from a real museum. I actually have a Salem mug from a real museum, but I'm not using it today. It's very tiny, at least for my work needs. My hair's all poofy. But yes, so I'm gonna start Maeve Fly. So I thought I would have you on me while I start it. And ready, set.
Bundle.
Macmillan Audio presents Maeve Fly by CJ Lead. Read for you by Sophie Bacon.
Okay, everyone, I have officially finished my final book for Winterween. So the final book was Maeve Fly, which I started this morning. And yes, I was only in the dark for a little tiny bit, but I'm still counting it because I also read The Shining in some cases in the dark. So I mean, does it super matter? Books got read in the dark. Anyway, that was wild. I feel like I can't even describe it. I will say, and there is even a mention to this, to this. If you've read American Psycho, it does give American Psycho vibes. I will say that it is a little different because while we are in Maeve's mind and some things don't quite add up, possibly, it is still just wild. Like, she is slightly, much like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, not that this is a direct comparison, but she is slightly unreliable. So the reason that I'm saying this is because there's a mention of someone, and then we don't really go any farther with that, and I'm unsure what you're supposed to get from that. There are also mentions to like Tyler Durden and Fight Club, and in that story you also have an unreliable narrator. So I am leaning into the fact that Maeve is in a certain capacity an unreliable narrator, but you are getting so many like tie-ins to other horror elements. Like, there's some Psycho in there, definitely, like standard Psycho, the movie. Also, isn't Psycho based on a book? Anyway, Psycho the movie specifically for my reference. American Psycho, there's a gross reference to American Psycho, which like is like literally Maeve has American Psycho, looks at it and is like, oh yes. And I was like, oh no, because I knew it has been a minute since I read American Psycho, but whoo boy. Yep. So it is just so like, I really can't describe it to you. Maeve is wild as a main character. Like, following her as our main character and like seeing all of these things evolving and things happening, it's just so weirdly, chaotically captivating. So I have not really gone into this at all. The story Maeve Fly by CJ Lead is specifically focused on Maeve, who works at the happiest place on earth in California. She plays a princess who lives in an ice kingdom, because there are references to other actual princesses like Snow White, Cinderella, but her specific princess character, I believe is a proprietary name, like it's trademarked because that character did not have that name in its original source story, so we can't say it, but there are so many references, and it's just, oh boy. And she like loves this character. She loves being this character. She relates to this character. She's like, I get this character, but like everything that's evolving is just like wild. If you have not read American Psycho, now some people had compared it to American Psycho before, so like I was slightly prepared, but I was still unprepared. There is a lot of smut in this book, which I did not anticipate. I don't know why. There's a girl licking an eyeball in the front. But yeah, it is full of things, which if you've read American Psycho, that book is also full of scenes of things that go certain ways. So it should not have surprised me. But I will say Maeve as a character is far better than Patrick Bateman, because there's just something about her where I'm just like, you want to do things, but like it's set up so curiously, because I don't expect things to happen, I guess, so quickly. Like the story just sort of evolves into like, this is what I do as me. This is my life. And then we are introduced to her grandmother, and really kind of the kicking off point is that the grandmother has been sick, and Maeve has sort of made this timeline where she and her best friend will have like 2 years together. Like Maeve will have 2 years with everyone in her life the way it is. Now, the story itself also involves Gideon, her best friend's brother. He also ties into this story, but a lot of what I felt in it was that while he helps her to like do some things, the events in Maeve's life that don't regard Gideon, that timeline she'd made in her head where she would have 2 years of her current life before she was alone, that shifting is really what I feel like kicks off this big, like, I'm gonna do the thing element for Maeve, which would make sense. A huge life change is often something that would kick off innate desires in perhaps those who are very controlled. Maybe I'm trying to think of a good character, because Hannibal doesn't really fit this. Hannibal is a controlled character, but he's doing his own thing. Patrick Bateman does have like sort of a kicking off where it like escalates very highly. I'm really trying to think of a good character and I can't right now, which is a little annoying. But if you have one, you should tell me, because I understand the dynamic. It is frequently a dynamic you get in the depiction of like a serial killer or a spree killer, where that something in their life has caused them to escalate. And normally once they've escalated, they can't stop. And I think that's what we are to gain from Maeve at this point, is like, it has escalated and it may not stop. I just want to know what Maeve is doing after this. Maeve's entire life is like unmoored. Things have gone wild. Like, I just want to know, because in American Psycho, I have seen the movie more recently than read the book. In that, we are led to believe that it is possible that our unreliable narrator is just remembering things incorrectly or presenting us a reality that may not be 100% correct. Now, with Maeve, that may also be true. Some things are changing for her. There are characters who speak to her that you may not understand why they're speaking to her. Or she's like basing something on something that may not actually be happening. So I would be curious, I think this is up for interpretation, whether all of the events that we are experiencing with Maeve have actually occurred, or if Maeve has actually done all of this. Now, I'm very sure for me that I think all of these events have occurred. Everything she's talking about has happened. It's very interesting to me that this story is so wild. And what's interesting is it is a woman. Normally a character like this is not played by a woman. It would be a male character who's going about and doing things. And I love that the setup is, you don't get to know anything about me. I'm just me, and this is what's happening. Which I loved. I love having no idea what's going on with Maeve, who Maeve is besides Maeve. So I had a wonderful time. I love that this kind of culminates on Halloween, which is just like so perfect for ending this challenge. I will definitely listen to this again. I could not find the physical book in my area. My library does not get books like this, because I would say it probably falls in like a pseudo extreme horror. It's close. All of the books that I had recommended to me after I finished it were extreme horror books. So it's virgin on that edge there, where my library is never going to get it. They don't get certain books. This will be on a list of things they will not get. They will not get it through Libby. They will not get it if I request it. So I will only be able to listen to it, but I think I would listen to it again to try and see if I can pick up on anything else, because there is a section that has an inconsistency for me where I'm like, are you trying to tell us that maybe something is up with Maeve and what she's like experiencing in life? So I'm very curious. I would listen to it again. I'm going to take a little break because I have a bunch of library books out that I have to read that are not related to this challenge, but that is everything now. This clip is already pretty long, but I will say, again, if you don't remember this, I don't give book star ratings. I just don't. Like, I always feel kind of fuzzy on them. Like, I'm like, I either liked the book, thought the book was meh, or didn't like the book. So I like can't do that on a 5-star. I can't do it. I can't puzzle that out for you. I would say Maeve Fly, I really liked. I do want to listen to it again because I feel like there's more that I could like get out of it on a second listen now that I've like heard the story once and like am prepared for scenes that do occur. Because I wasn't prepared for some of them, I just wasn't. I feed her to the Beast, and the Beast is me. I'm doing all the audio books together, FYI. I may try listening to it again, either later in the year or again next year, because I feel like how it was described to me in like promotion-y stuff, or like what I saw for it, was incorrect, which made me go into it with like the wrong sense of what the book would be, which did not benefit the book. Like, I liked aspects of it. I just think it just wasn't what I was led to believe it would be. So I still liked it. I just like, I think I need to listen to it again when I'm like far removed from it and just sort of like go into it and be like, okay, you remember what this is about, maybe see what you think. Because I liked our lead character. I liked lore in that book a lot, and I liked the side characters that were brought in. But then I was just kind of like, this is more like detective than I expected, which was interesting in like, I just did not assume that there would be some kind of investigative element going on. So maybe I'll listen to it again and see. I would still recommend it. I think it is good. I just think you should not think of it as Black Swan. I think you should think of it more as like Faust with ballet is really what you should think of it as. The other one, Dowry of Blood. I loved Dowry of Blood, and I will definitely listen to that again just to listen to it. I thought the audio narrator was great. I really love that it's like one long letter to the vampire husband. And I'm very, very excited for the next book that's coming out. I think it's an Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson, and it's based on Carmilla, and I am so intrigued. It comes out sometime this year, so I'll have to track it down. Possibly in audio, because I don't think my library is getting it, but whatever. Those are the audiobooks. And then we had Cinderella Necromancer, which I really, really liked, and I'm pretty sure there are more of those, and I need to track them down because I want to know what happened with that story. I really like that one. I know the author, so I'll probably just bombard them with questions. And then that one I really wanted to read though. Like, I found out they wrote it and I wanted to read it, and so I did. But I also really enjoyed it. And then The Shining, which I did enjoy, but like many Stephen King books, I think are too long. Like, it's dense until it like really ramps up. And I just think that's like a thing that happens with me in Stephen King, where I'm like, okay, just speed it up. Because it takes me a while to get like invested. And then once I am invested, I normally like the story, but I like it takes me a really long time to like get invested and like really focused on finishing it. Because like once I got to the point that I was really enjoying it, I really wanted to just like know what happened. But I was just like, this is taking me a very long time to get into. But I will say, the book is far superior to the movie. The movie is garbage. I hate the movie. I'm never watching it again. Ever. It was awful. It's truly terrible. But I'm going to be taking a slight horror break reading wise, because I have a bunch of library books, which I already mentioned, all by Alice Oseman that I'm going to be reading. I have one non-Alice Oseman one that I might try and like sneak in this weekend. The Babysitter's Coven, which I grabbed for this in case I got done with books early, but because I was sick and it took me a while to get through The Shining, that didn't happen. But I do want to read that, so I might just be randomly reading the Babysitter's Coven, and then getting into my long list of Alice Oseman books. But I did really enjoy this reading challenge. I feel like I read a lot of very different things, which was my goal. I wanted to read a lot of like different sort of spooky, creepy reads. But they were kind of all over the place. Like they were all kind of different genres, different kind of things in sort of a horror scope. I feel like horror would still work as my general scope of things. But I really enjoyed myself. I had a great time. I am working on getting my vlog edited and uploaded sometime on Friday. So if you're watching this, hopefully it is the day after the challenge ended. Fingers crossed that I get that done. But yes, if you did Winterween, I would love to know how your Winterween went, what books you read, if we read any of the same books, what you thought of this reading vlog, because I didn't go anywhere. I even filmed an intro to explain why. But I had fun, even though I was just in my house for a week, vlogging around. So let me know what you thought. And if you'd be interested in knowing my thoughts on the Alice Oseman books I'm going to read, because that's happening, because I got all of them, and one of them I know specifically is due in 2 weeks. So I definitely have to read it very soon. But yes, all right, I'm gonna go. I hope you had a great Winterween, and I will talk to you later, internet people. Bye.